This episode of Getting Grown is brought to you by Heineken. With all the stresses of life, it can be easy to lose perspective on what really matters. But Heineken believes that life is about being with friends and opening yourself to new experiences. Because when you live spontaneously and embrace the unexpected, it's a chance to create new stories and connections. You just have to be open to it. So enjoy a refreshingly cold, full-bodied Heineken Lager today with its deep golden color, light fruity aroma, mild bitter taste, and a crisp, clean finish. Cheers! Support for today's episode also comes from Swing Left. It starts with the House. If progressive candidates win back just 23 districts in the House of Representatives this year, they'll put a check on the Trump agenda. That's why nearly 500,000 volunteers have signed up to take action in the 2018 midterms with Swing Left. Don't just vote this year, volunteer. Join the grassroots movement that's making change in this year's midterm elections. Take action and sign up now at swingleft.org/grown. Summer rain whispers me to sleep and wakes me up again. Sometimes I swear I hear her call my name to wash away the pain, my summer rain. In the middle of the night when I'm alone. Alone.
Oh God, she got to sing the lead.
I feel her kisses.
Oh my Lord. Has anybody checked on Carl Thomas? I mean,
I know.
miss him.
He told us that he couldn't stop crying. We should check on him.
Nah, I just felt like, what a gem. I miss Carl Thomas. I was listening to his second album last night. One of the best albums I think ever. I love that album. So good.
I love Carl Thomas, actually, and his sweaters.
And I miss him. So, like, I've always said that his sophomore album, Let's Talk About It, released on the same day as Confessions, which was probably the worst marketing decision ever made in the history of Bad Boy. But, you know, here we are.
Well, you know, Puffy sets niggas up for failure. That's what he's been doing for a long time.
I mean, Carl Thomas still sings.
He does.
And I just love him so much. But praise the Lord, niggas. Welcome back to Getting Grown with Jade and Keia.
I'm
Keia.
Jade.
And we are back to talk about adulting. The tests, the trials, the twists, the turns, the temptations, and the taxes of being an adult in the year of our Lord 2018.
2018. Yeah, that makes sense. Not funny.
But yeah, man.
Not much. Getting ready for all of our work that we have coming up. You know, just finished up these shows, like I said, and getting ready for the next ones and trying to get the family in order. You know what I'm saying? Just lifing.
And all that brings. Yeah, I can relate. I too am just trying to maintain and manage all of the multiple projects that I have going on. Not complaining, I'm just maintaining. Things at work have to keep moving while all of the things that are also work have to keep on moving. So we just navigating and figuring it all out.
I know. I'm been team typing fast because I'm working on some cooking things and some TV stuff. So that's a lot of typing, man.
Exciting. Very, very, very.
Yeah,
very
I don't know.
exciting.
I'm not really excited yet because I'm just working really hard. So
I mean, that's where I am.
Yeah,
most
you
of the time,
are.
but really steadily trying to just keep moving forward because you know you have to go through things, and that's what it's all about. But I'm excited and anxious to get through the month of November, and I'm hopeful that after that I will feel better.
Well, we are going to close the month of November very proper.
I still haven't. I'm not even in the
I
space
understand,
to,
but I'm just
appreciate. I mean, I appreciate that wholeheartedly, but I'm not in this. It still feels like I have to go through quite a bit and survive all of that before I can even get to the end of the month. But needless to say, you know, we're grateful for life and all the opportunities that it affords.
And all those cliche things. So let's move on to some trash.
Sure.
Ty. Or clean up women, por favor. A clean up woman. So we'll start the trash off with the heavier things, and then we'll move on to like some trash. So,
right.
Did you hear about the Tree of Life shooting?
The Tree of Life shooting?
it was the Nazi, let's call it what it is, who went into a synagogue and shot it up. Yeah.
Yes, I did hear about that. Okay, I guess I didn't catch what's the name of the synagogue?
So.
Tree of Life?
I believe it was the Tree of Life synagogue.
Oh, okay.
And 11 were shot and killed. And it's disgusting that this is still happening. In my heart, I know thoughts and prayers can only go so far. But when that's all we can offer, that's what we can offer. But at the same time,
I still believe that prayer works and that it is still a weapon. I know that I get the fatigue and total exacerbation that we feel in the face of such unthinkable acts of hate and violence. But like you were saying, I think it is, I still feel like we pray for the families of those affected, that they are comforted and, given whatever they need to kind of manage and get through this super difficult time. And yeah, for me, I don't know, I'll say, I get the frustration that people feel, but
I agree. Like
it's like prayer is the only thing I can do, because I feel like, well, otherwise I am otherwise.
I think it just gets super
powerless.
Frustrating. My good friend Felonious Monk is a comedian. He put up a post the other day that said if thoughts and prayers were effective, places where people go to think and pray wouldn't get shot up. And I understand the frustration. I totally understand the frustration, and it's disgusting that the places where we're supposed to be made to feel the most safe are places even now we're in danger. But I still continue to send my prayers out for those who are dealing with tragedy. And like you said, just hope that it works. I just hope that it works.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of managing and dealing with the difficulty of these things. And I understand, like you said, the frustration that people feel. I wish that we would not. I don't know. I am hopeful, and it is my prayer that we could get to a place where we will not respond to acts and attacks of violence with attacks, like more and more attacks. Because I don't know. I'm not saying, I feel like, I guess I get the sentiment behind those kinds of statements, but, churches and synagogues and places of worship are deemed sacred and holy places. They are symbols of what, but they are symbols of religion and relationship. But for me, symbols, unfortunately, are up for grabs too. Not saying that it's right, but I think that that's why we should focus our energy and our thoughts on, cultivating relationships. So for me, it's more than just church, right? Church is the place where I go to learn about God and Jesus Christ, and, because that's what I choose to believe in. But I understand that the church in and of itself is just a building. And that, people, it's a gathering place. And even when people attack those sacred gathering places, I would hope that our faith in who we are going to worship would be able to withstand those attacks. And we would not then blame,
no,
God or, those kinds of things. But, I understand. Everyone's entitled to the ways, their opinions, and how they process and interpret things.
That's a good way of looking at it, though. Because I think people forget a lot of times that places of worship, whether it be a church, a synagogue, what have you, is like you said, it's just a building.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the hate has no limit.
It doesn't.
It has no limit, and we came up. Well, I can say I came up in a time where I felt like people had a certain level of reverence or respect or regard for certain spaces, but I feel like all of that has been broken down.
Because you can say the same thing for an elementary school. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just as wild for an elementary school to be shot up as it is for a church to be shot up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is just as devastating,
if not more.
And just as mind-blowing. And I think that I don't know. I understand people express things in their frustration or they, and I'm not attacking anybody for what they choose to believe, but I'm just saying for me, it's I feel like it's bigger and deeper and closer and more personal, than that.
That's a good way of looking at it, though.
Everybody's
that's a good way of looking at it, and I like that. I like that way of looking at it, because I don't necessarily I would never attack God for the terrible things that happen, because I don't believe that he causes the terrible things that happen. You know what I'm saying? And the world is unfortunately a disgusting place, as we're seeing more and more every single day, and it's you can't. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's a confusing place, but I know that it doesn't.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm like, well, how can he, like, is he, I don't know, can he put his hand in every single thing right now and be like, no, this is not going to happen, this is not going to happen, this is going to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I feel like it's a larger, and I think in times like these, we have to be mindful of all of the things that are going on in the world that are deplorable and terrible. And I understand that people have the position of how a God who is so loving could allow certain things to happen, but we have to realize that, it depends. It all depends on what you believe. But as far as I am concerned, God is loving, but I feel like people make choices. And I'm not saying that he is still not in control. I still believe that he's in control. But and I don't know. I don't have all the answers, and I'm sure people will write in and let us know that they don't agree with me, and that's okay, because you're entitled to not agree with me. But I just believe that it is in these unthinkable times that when our faith is really proven. And I totally get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? When my mother looked me in the face and told me that my brother was no longer living, I questioned everything that I ever knew about God. And that, that being said, I really had to walk through and navigate through that. So I don't really judge people, wherever they are in their spaces. But I would just argue that we all should remain, well, I don't know, should is a strong word, but it is my hope to remain hopeful. I mean, it's my hope to remain open to the process of things. And I gain hope in trusting that regardless of how crazy and hurtful and painful and disappointing life can be, I have to continue to trust that God's not going to play me, because he hasn't. And I don't know how we got so deep into this rabbit hole, but
sorry.
That's just for me. And it hurt. And I guess that was me kind of being reactionary to what your friend said. And I guess that's totally fair. And you can expect people to feel that way about prayer, and people wonder, whether it works or if it works. But I guess it's just a really long way of me saying that I still believe that it works, and I'm still praying for what it's worth.
No, that
Sorry,
was
guys.
That was a beautiful
we didn't mean to go Sunday school
that was
on
a
you.
Beautiful sentiment.
No, I just it hurts my feelings. Not I mean, I'm trying not to. I mean, I try my best not to take it personal, but I don't know. I feel like I'm in a relationship with God, so when people talk bad about him, I feel away. So just like you feel away when somebody's
Right.
coming for somebody who's close to you, I feel away, and I may not have the words to justify everything to a T, but I can just speak for myself and my life and what
Yeah,
I know.
I feel the same way. I obviously am not as the I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the word is, but I th- I think I just try to I think I try to understand where everybody's coming from. I have my own faith, you know what I'm saying, and I pray and I hope that it works, and I continue to do it because I hope that it works. Um, but I do have questions, and I have
I
you
think that's
know
totally fair. I have
think
questions too.
everybody has questions, and I think that's why I try to
Right.
be super objective. And I'm not saying you're not, so I'm not even speaking on what you're saying, but I'm just for myself. I try to be super objective because
Yeah.
I know there are people on the other side. There are atheists and agnostics, and people who are very believe in spirituality as opposed to religion, but and they look at people who are Christians and say, well, that's so stupid. Like, how could you believe in this person who allows all these bad things to happen? And you know what I'm saying? I blah, 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 blah. So I think that it's not right. I just want to develop a practice as a whole of respecting other people's beliefs. Because I feel like sometimes, and again, I'm not speaking on you because I've heard it from other people. It's not right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is entitled to believe in what they choose to believe, not believe in what they choose to not believe, and that is their right.
I feel like we would get a lot further. I'm taking my bracelets off. Sorry, I know they're a little jangling, but
Jangling.
I think that I hope it is my. You would think that in a country where that is founded allegedly on these kind of individual liberties and freedoms that we all supposedly have the same level of access to, or afforded rather. You would think that in that way we would be able to coexist. We and our differences would be able to coexist peaceably. But I think that it just boils down to kind of like a cultural thing about how culturally I feel like we've all been kind of brought up to think about things in really simplistic ways, and I think that there is danger in that.
Oh, say it again.
When we don't, I just feel like when we don't engage the complexity of things like spiritual beliefs and values, and when we kind of categorize people, because not to get off on this, we are way off in this tangent, but I do not subscribe to. So like if you think about like the evangelicals and other kind of right-wing Christian organizations, quote unquote Christian organizations, and I am a Christian, but I don't subscribe to many of the things that they subscribe to, because I don't believe that I feel like I feel like there have been people who kind of attach labels to things for their own self-serving purposes. So there's a gang of rich, wealthy, well-off white folks who do things in the name of Jesus Christ that Jesus Christ himself would probably never, ever have had anything to do with. And that's where I take issue with. And I think we all, like, I get it. It's fair. It was happening during the times of Jesus. People just kind of think really categorically in black and white about things. And if you were to really follow, and I can only speak about Christianity because that is what I feel like, that's what I know of. But I wish we would all, because I feel like Jesus was a purveyor of mind your business ministries. And he was very, very much, he and all that he preached was about cultivating personal relationship with him, with God through Christ Jesus. Not necessarily that for your own self actualization and happiness.
Wow, it
and
sounds
joy.
like you're what
Not
a Christian is supposed to be.
Right, but I feel like people have used Christianity to judge other people and to make themselves feel better than others, to look down, to segregate, and it's just like ugly and a big old lie. And church and organized religion, just like any other institution, has its flaws. And I feel like I said, if we cannot think so simplistically about things and open ourselves to the complexity and the context that surrounds a lot of the issues and of life that we are navigating through, then we'll be able to engage in with these things in ways that serve us better than just kind of like us against them.
And stop telling people they're involved in witchcraft and all kinds of things because they do things that you don't agree with, or they choose to honor ancestors that you don't necessarily believe in, or to stop doing that, because it's disrespectful to what other people put their faith in. And I think that's what the whole bottom line that I had was.
I mean, I think, I don't know. I feel like if we would all just get ourselves together, and focus on your own stuff, man. I don't know. I just feel like we get lost in this.
And other people's business.
This is abuse of power. Yeah, it's an abuse of power and feigned authority and those kinds of things. I do subscribe to, structure and order and having, things in their rightful place. But I feel like, the ways in which a lot of that power has been obtained were completely unfair, and we got to understand that, we are dealing very much so. The playing field will never be leveled. The game is fixed from centuries and centuries ago, and I feel like it would be really a huge undertaking or task for us to try to undo all of the problematic ways of society. It's going to take time. Just like it took time to destroy the world, it's going to take time to fix it. And we are just, living in, unfortunately, we're living in the product of years and years of just flawed thinking.
That's why Keia and I tell you every week to mind your business.
I just feel like it's important. I really, and I think that people don't necessarily recognize the importance and value of doing
Mind your business does not necessarily mean
safety.
Not asking other niggas how much they pay for rent. Minding your business comes in so many forms and facets. It runs deep.
It's like being responsible. Yes, it's being responsible for yourself. Being responsible for yourself and figuring out your own life and trying not to be in other people's business so much, at the expense of your own stuff.
Say it again.
That's all I'm saying.
Every week.
This is supposed to be trash, and we already at the kitchen table. But I'm going to let
trash.
Sorry, guys.
Speaking of minding other people's business, the MAGA bomber was not minding his own business, and that's why his dumbass got caught.
So they did catch him.
You know how they caught him? Because he came for the wrong one. He came for Auntie Maxine.
Listen, she said you better shoot straight.
And
she had told y'all that she wasn't out here playing. He ain't got no shot, is what we saying.
They found a fingerprint on the package that was supposed to be sent to her, and that's how they got him.
Because that's how the Lord works.
He don't don't play with the children.
You don't mess with black women.
You don't
Jesus
mess
said
with
it.
Black women.
You got to watch.
So. Yes, he has been caught, and that is how he got caught, and I'm all the way here for it.
Same.
I'm going to keep this one extremely brief because, honestly, I'm tired of it, but I still feel the way that I feel. Nicki and Cardi.
First of all, Cardi had a TED Talk today. A TED Talk.
It's like 9 parts.
Cardi had a TED Talk, and I just was watching it like never change. Sis. Never change.
Don't change
never
your grammar.
Don't change. Promise me that you will never change. Promise me. Because Cardi is still the people's champion. I will say that I have grown weary of wealthy women arguing over such trivial foolishment. Like, I have grown very tired of that because when I look at my student loan balance, I feel like there are greater tragedies in the world
release an album
than what these people are arguing
1
over.
million watches. I don't want to hear much.
I mean, these people who have millions of dollars are fighting over like he said, she said, and it's just like it is troubling.
It is, but if we're gonna get into the pettiness and the trash of it all, and try to find the small silver linings and joy from
all
it,
right.
I do appreciate Cardi's delivery because Carly hit you with a bang. Let me hit you. She's like, bang. You want to talk about this? First of all, I greatly appreciate her saying her name. That was my number one appreciation.
She said, she said her real name. I didn't watch. I didn't make her do the whole TED Talk.
She did say Nicki. She was like, first of all, Nicki Minaj.
That's right. Call her out. I want you to know that I'm talking directly to you. First of all, Nicki Minaj,
and if you want to bring out this, then we can talk about this. And she just went. She was like, bang, you want to talk about this? I already have this many I have a Fashion Nova deal. I have more deals coming from other fashion brands. Like she's like, bang, let's talk about the motorsport video. You changed your verse at the last minute. All I said on the radio was, you changed your verse at the last minute. Was that a lie? Like, Cardi came, and then Nicki came saying that Cardi was lying and she wants her to come on Queen Radio, which, by the way, I thought was supposed to be a short stint of promoting an album that obviously is not doing well. But so she's...
This is just all a ploy, and I actually hoped that Cardi would not respond because I felt like this is Nicki fledgling. Like, this is me, like, let me just stir up some mess so that the people will hopefully, pay the $9.99 on iTunes and get my album, because without all of this hoopla and foolishness, like, nobody's paying me anymore. Really so I feel like she's literally poking the bear. And I understand Cardi's frustration, but I really wish that she really had like a big sister who could just be like, girl, pay this, the dust from your pockets.
I agree, but she did. I think she ended it in a very Jade way. She ended it very appropriately because she said, listen, I'm tired of talking about this. So she was like, you know how to reach me. You don't have my number because your bitches like to leak numbers. She's like, you don't have my number, but you know how to get in touch with me. You know who to call to get in touch with me. If you want to get together, we can get together. If you want to fight, we can fight. But I'm tired of talking about it. I don't want to talk about it no more. Let me know what you want to do. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you mic drop.
Thus concluding
that.
Thus concluding the TED Talk, man.
So I'm tired of them. Trick Daddy was on a Spirit flight.
What?
Somebody got a video of Trick Daddy on a Spirit flight. The young man who made the video was beat down. Okay. Yeah, his face was like, it was beat.
Why would they fight him?
Not fight him. No.
He was ugly.
He had a nasty beat, like makeup.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm so
I was
sorry.
So confused.
And a coif, a nice dread coif. It was beautiful. But he took a video of Trick Daddy. He was like, Trick Daddy is on a Spirit airline flight. Well, I wanted to be like, well, sir, you are as well. But I guess...
Exactly. I mean, perhaps he just wanted a bargain.
Not that I'm really going up for Trick Daddy, because fuck him.
And not that I'm going up for Spirit Airlines, but I just feel like people ought to be entitled to spend their money how they nobody's so choose.
Getting now. I will say I'm bougie. I will not be riding Yabba Dabba Doo Airlines anytime soon because my feet are too precious to be helping start anybody's airplane. But Trick Daddy, I don't know. Like he compared to, I guess he can ride Spirit Airlines. I don't fuck with him anyway. After all that mess he talked about black women, Trick Daddy, he's in the fuck you forever category for me. Kenya Moore has preeclampsia. She shared a picture of her very swollen feet online. We know that preeclampsia is a very serious condition. And so therefore I hope that I hope everything goes okay for her because it's very, very, very serious and it's nothing that any pregnant woman ever wants to come encounter with. So yeah, I just hope for her. I don't have any snide remarks. I have nothing. I just hope that she's safe and her baby is safe. Okay. Countess Vaughn wants a Parker's reboot.
I saw that girl. Sit on down. Sit on down. Sit on down, Kim Parker.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm gonna stop you right there.
When she imitated Jill Scott, that was the best thing ever.
I just wish that she would just leave us alone. Countess, girl, just go ahead and be on the Divas of Hollywood Divas, whatever that show is called. Is it still on? Probably not. But girl,
what was that video she
invest
did?
your money. Buy you a Chick-fil-A somewhere and watch your coins flip over and over again.
Speaking of Chick-fil-A, they now have mac and cheese. I'm not.
Oh.
This is one decision I don't know if I can get behind. I don't know about this Chick-fil-A.
You know, it's probably giving, classy, easy Mac. We should lower our expectations. We should not feel like it's going to be baked.
My expectations are already in hell from a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I don't really feel like this is something that they, would excel at.
Like, y'all got to go ahead and leave that alone.
Just do chicken.
Y'all do chicken
very
so
well.
That
Just
hateful chicken is everything.
Do chicken. That's the Lord's chicken.
XD said that you all's hate is what seasons the chicken and makes it so great. And it's probably true. Crystal, give me my sauce.
Nope.
Give me my sauce. It does not matter. I was there. But
you were late. You were not there at the time that was prescribed.
There was no time prescribed.
But you told her that you were leaving at a certain time and you arrived hours later.
Well,
I
still want my sauce. Give it to me.
You don't get it. There are consequences. We're gonna have to start giving you consequences because this lateness is the only way we're going to be able to curtail this perpetual tardy.
I have been on time for everything that matters.
I
made it on
the lie
you
detector
all had a
test
bet that I wasn't going to make it on the Barbados flight, and I made it to the airport.
First of all, by the grace of God. Secondly, we're not going to talk about this right now because I don't think that you want to do this right here, right now. I want you to consider this very carefully because if you want to do this, we can. You want to talk about you only show up one time for the things that matter. You sure? You want to do this right here today?
Listen, all I got is defense of myself.
All you got is the lies in yourself. That's what you got.
I don't lie.
No, okay. You just did. When you said this, you show up to the things that are important on time.
I made it to your dissertation.
But we don't have to do this right now. We don't. We don't.
All right. I just want
to
move
forward. No. We should move forward.
We do, because we have some important people to shout out.
Indeed. Let's do that. Let's hurry up and get there.
This is popping right now, like.
Oh my God. This shout out this week is very near and dear to my heart. So my homegirls, Antoinette and Shanti, who you have heard mention multiple times, from the Around the Way Curls blog,
right,
and Instagram, have released a podcast.
Shout out to a friend.
It's Friend's obnoxious air horn. It has carried over. The Around the Way Curls podcast has dropped last Thursday. It's about money and dicks, love and light, and duality. It is by two best friends from Philadelphia who speak on being biracial women in America. I'm just making fun of them. They're actually very black women at heart. But they're fun. They're a good time. They're two of my very close friends. And guys, go support. We'll be able to put all of the links in the description box.
Absolutely. Congratulations on your podcast, ladies. I cannot wait to listen. I am really thrilled and excited about what y'all gonna be talking about, and I'm gonna be all up in your business.
It's a good time, and you might hear your girl one time for the one time. Who you got? Don't you got one?
Yes. Okay. So I too would like to shout out one of my good girlfriends who has just had, some notable accomplishments in these last couple of weeks, and I just want to shout her out. I actually have shouted her out before for her company, the Private Suite Collection, but Vick Jagger of Magic 102.3 here in DC is, just out here. She's recently been named the number one midday radio show. And she's just glowing up. And I'm just so stinking proud of her. Last week, she also let us all know that she just obtained her real estate license.
Yes.
So she's just one of the women in my life who I'm super grateful for, who is just a constant source of inspiration and encouragement, and just out here doing it on multiple in multiple ways and on several levels. And I'm just proud of her. So I wanted to shout her out. She had a appreciation dinner at the Hamilton last week that was sponsored by our good friends at Hennessy. And it was a good time, Vic and her close friends just loving on her and encouraging her and celebrating with her. It was an amazing event. I was honored to be in attendance, and I just wanted, just like I said there at the event, Vic, I'm so proud of you and so proud of all that you've accomplished and so excited about what God has in store. And I'm just grateful for your friendship and for your heart and your example. And you continue to push me to continue to work hard and, do great work. So shout out to you, sis.
Aw. I love when we get to shout out our sister friends.
Absolutely. Such fun. And if you want to shout out your sister friends, we can help you. Send your shout outs to Gettin Grown podcast@gmail.com, where you always, send them. And, accomplishments, businesses, great or small, we are, not choosy. If your friend or your sister or you yourself are doing something that is notable and, important to you, share it with us, and we'd love to share it with our listeners as well.
Yay, yay. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Teami. The Teami Blends Detox Mask is a perfect mask for all skin types, helping to eliminate blemishes, improve overall complexion, and, our favorite, moisturize your skin from the inside out. I tried the Teami mask. So, I've been doing the Teami detox with the colon cleanse every night and my tea in the morning, and it has been doing my skin wonders. They went a step further, baby, and gave me that mask. I put it on. My skin was smooth. It tingled. It felt beautiful. It was wonderful the next day, and it smelled amazing. It smelled so good, and it was so easy to put on my skin. It was wonderful. There's a lot of skincare products out there that look cool but never actually work, and the detox mask is the perfect mask to add to your routine because it works regardless of your skin type. The detox mask is all natural and made with a blend of ingredients like, y'all listen, because these are some of my favorites: matcha tea, bentonite clay, and lemongrass. So it feels great and smells like a spa. It's easy to use. Simply leave the mask on for 10 minutes and feel your skin tingling while the mask works its magic. Once it dries, wash off the mask to reveal clean, hydrated, happy skin. You can even use it as a spa treatment and leave it on overnight if you're dealing with a few pesky pimples. Go to TeamiBlends.com and add the detox mask to your beauty routine today and use the code GROWN15 for 15% off any order. That's TeamiBlends.com and code GROWN15.
Thanks again to Swing Left for supporting this week's show. It all starts with the House. If progressive candidates win in just 23 swing districts on November 6th, we can take back a majority in the House of Representatives and finally put President Trump and the regressive administration supporting him in check. That means protecting our health care, protecting the rights of everyone, and protecting our democracy. That's why nearly 500,000 people have signed up to volunteer with Swing Left. When you join Swing Left at swingleft.org/grown, you'll be immediately connected with our volunteers in your area who are working to win the race in a nearby swing district. You'll find out where and how you can make the most impact on flipping the House starting right now. It's really that simple. Each of us has the power to change our country and save our democracy, but only if we do the work to take back the House. Don't just vote this year, volunteer. Join the grassroots movement that's making change in this year's midterm election. Learn more and sign up now at swingleft.org/grown. That's swingleft.org/grown. Boom. All right, so we're back at the kitchen table, and my thought is that this week's kitchen table is going to be kind of brief because I actually need you guys I need your help with something. I was telling Jade when we were preparing for the show that I had a conversation with my therapist, and she asked me a question that I struggled to answer. And I've been thinking about, why it was a struggle for me to answer it, and what are some things that I might do differently, such that I might be able to answer it the next time she poses it. And Jade thought that it would be just good to kind of talk about it here, so that's what we're gonna do. So, like many of you, and many of and Jade, and just all of our listeners who are out here adulting and managing multiple responsibilities. There are times in life where we are depleted in that we are spending and spending and spending of our time and attention and our energy and, pouring out and giving and giving and giving. And, you continue to give and give and give. If I use my phone and don't charge it, then it's going to go dead.
That's it.
So we have to be strategic and even thoughtful or intentional about ways that we replenish or restore or recharge ourselves. So my therapist asked me what I do to rejuvenate myself, to replenish myself after I have spent all my time and energy. And I struggle to answer the question, mainly because the things that I feel like, I don't know. I struggle to just think, what do I do that, I feel like gives me energy or gives me life? I struggled because I don't know. Maybe I feel like they were all stupid because when I was like, I like to watch TV and I like to play in my makeup and, it felt like but I mean, I struggle because I feel guilty when I allow myself to do these things because I feel like I am wasting time. So I thought that it would be useful for us to kind of talk about it and maybe see if we can help me navigate this current roadblock that I am experiencing. Like, oh, girl, like, what do I do to give myself life? Because I feel like I am just drained, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's me every day.
Yeah.
That's me every day.
Yes.
Well, so yes, Keia.
What do you do? What do you do? Do you have things that you do when you feel like you need to like just recharge?
I thought about that and I was like, there's obvious answers. I take a vacation, I blah, blah, blah. I go hang out with a friend. But I really wanted to sit on it for a second. And so one thing that I do, and it may sound completely unconventional, but if we're talking about, ooh, I'm all the way Cardi today. If we're talking about rejuvenating and recharging, I clean up. So like this weekend, I was supposed to travel and I just couldn't do it. I just was like, I can't. No, it's not feeling good. I'm extremely exhausted. I'm getting ready to be gone every weekend for 4 weeks in a row. Like, I cannot do it this weekend. And instead, I got in my house and I am determined. I have been determined for months and slowly getting there and having my house feel comfortable for the wintertime, because the wintertime you're stuck in the house. There's snow days. It's cold. You hibernate more often. And I'm like, I want to do that in a house that feels good. I need a new bed. I need a new dresser. There are some things that I'd like to do in my kitchen, in my living room, replace some things. Like there's just some things that I want to do. And so I have this nook in my bedroom that doubles as the studio. And also like it has extra closets in it. It's a really nice nook. And I want to paint it and I have this huge windowsill you can sit in, and I want to put like pillows and just like make it a space. But anyway, it has been a mess for the longest. And I knew, and I'm getting ready to order a dresser, get myself together. This is all going somewhere, I promise. So I got in here this weekend. I organized my clothes. I threw out a ton of like old clothes and old pillows and just things that I didn't need. Reorganized my luggage and put it someplace. Reorganized the closet so that it made sense and I was able to get the most usage out of it. Like just really got the space together. And when I was done, I felt so good because It was clean. It's a space that I want to record in now. It's a space that I don't mind being in. I can see the steps that I'm getting to make it the room that I really want to make it. And it gave me like a recharge to want to do more things around the house to make myself feel good, because that's at the stage that I'm at in my life right now.
Right.
Getting my home together feels good to me. Those are the things that make me feel good. So that's one thing that I do to rejuvenate or recharge is, and I don't know if it's the Virgo in me, I don't know what it is, but I'll get into a space that I know that I've been wanting to clean. And, you know, not necessarily physically, but just, you know, there may be some decluttering I want to do. There may be some reorganizing I need to do. But when I do that, I always feel really good afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. And I mean, honestly, I kind of did the same thing on Saturday. And I have noticed that when I am stressed out, it is often a result of having like clutter and stuff all over my house. So I have found that, you know, getting that situated is, you know, does alleviate some stress. So on Saturday, I too spent the day washing clothes. Now I am a little ashamed to say this, but you know, it's a judgment-free zone, hopefully. I have a lot of clothes, and I have been kind of putting off doing my laundry for quite some time. So I had like 10 whole loads of clothes.
Oh my gosh.
That is like, it was unthinkable. But that includes like sheets and blankets and towels and such. And, you know, it also speaks to the amount of underwear that I own. But or the times that I just go without underwear. But that's not what this is about.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
thank you.
So, yes, all that to say, I have been kind of, you know, judging myself for, you know, you need to do your laundry, you need to do your laundry. It's been like 3 weeks, do your laundry. But, you know, I took all Saturday, and I didn't intend to do it, but I went downstairs to the basement for something else, and I happened to look in the laundry room and saw that all the machines were free. So I just went upstairs, and I was like, look at the Lord. The Lord has graced me with this opportunity. So I, you know, washed all the clothes, and I did feel better. And, you know, I'm still folding and putting things away, but I did feel better. So maybe that is helpful. That is something that I feel like I can go back to my therapist and say that cleaning up my space, even though I feel like she's going to argue that that's work. But
I mean,
because she's like, you're always
it's like
working.
a productive work, and it's something that you do for yourself, because the thing about me is that I think the reason why cleaning and reorganizing and things rejuvenates me is because it puts me in a space where I know I can either A, relax in that space and relax comfortably, and B, when I need to work, I feel motivated to work in a space that's organized and clean. So that's why I feel recharged and rejuvenated when I'm able to do those things, because then I feel inspired to do, you know, other things that matter, whether it be me sitting down and writing my treatments for this show, or, you know, being able to sit down and watch TV and not have it in the back of my mind that, oh my God, this room is a fucking mess, and I know that at some point I'm gonna have to get in there and get to it, and dreading having to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying. So I will say that one of the things that I did this weekend that again was like necessary, but I guess I don't know, I got a good pedicure.
Ooh, yeah, now that's the one.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think what I struggle with is that I often feel guilty for the ways that I choose to recharge myself. And I feel like I've already said that, but yeah. So like the other week, there was a concert. It was an artist out in town at this church that I wanted to go see. It was a couple of artists actually, because, you know, I'm a choir girl. It was a couple of, you know, old school choirs that was just in town. And I was like, I'm going to get myself dressed and I'm going to go to this concert by myself. And I went and I had a good time.
Yes.
But I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think of, I don't know. It was so hard for me to, maybe I'm thinking that the ways that I recharge are not good enough, but maybe they are.
See, there goes that self-doubt again.
I mean, fair, but I guess I'm interested in posing the conversation to the audience. How do you all recharge? What do you do? I think I did Google it when I was on my way home. And they said like the things that we've talked about before in terms of getting enough rest and exercising and celebrating your wins, like when you have, crossed some things off your to-do list, like feeling good about that. But I don't know. I think those things, I don't know why I make this so challenging, but yeah, here we are.
I don't think it's always so complex. And I think sometimes things that seem so simple may be more complex than what we realize, such as, like I said, yeah, we can rejuvenate and recharge by saying, we love going to a spa and getting a massage and sitting down and get a pedicure. And of course, those things are going to recharge you. Of course, you're going to feel good. Of course, after you get your feet done, you don't mind putting on a pretty pair of sandals because you like, my toes look nice. You know what I'm saying? Of course, all of those things are going to, but that cleaning of your space, I'm just using that as an example at this point. That cleaning of your space is a completely different way because it can rejuvenate and recharge you in so many different facets of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when your mother used to make you clean up on Saturdays and she turned on music and nobody was allowed to turn on the TV and y'all had to get down on your hands and knees and start wiping baseboards and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that deep cleaning. But at the end of the day, when she rewarded you and got you McDonald's or some shit and you were able to sit down and watch Snick, it felt good that y'all got to chill in a clean house for the rest of the weekend and you didn't have to worry about cleaning up for the rest of the weekend. And that just set the tone for all the rest of the days because it's like I did my hard work in the beginning so that I can enjoy it later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I also, I looked online because I guess my thing is I feel like I am spending money a lot to recharge.
Ooh, yeah.
And, that can be counterproductive. But one thing that I feel like I'm going to try to do, we talked about this in our Say Thank You episode, but having moments of gratitude or thinking about things that you're grateful for can often replenish your energy.
Yep.
As well as, taking a walk or just, and I'm not one of those outside people. I don't like to go outside. But evidently I should, to cultivate that practice because getting outside of your surroundings is helpful.
It does.
And I guess as reluctant as I am to do that, I think the things that I can endeavor to do this week, and hold me accountable is, to exercise. I'm going to try to get that in. I'm also going to take a walk and I'm going to try to have some daily gratitude time. I'm going to try to write down some things that I'm grateful for. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll set a reminder in my phone to do it at a certain time of the day, but I just have to really, I think a struggle for me is that I spend a lot of time by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And which is great because I love me, but I think I'm challenged. I can admit that I am challenged in feeling like, I don't know. I feel like beyond, I don't know. One of the things that I struggle with in being perpetually single mm-hmm. is wondering whether or not I will find or ever have that level of companionship. Because I'm not saying that a relationship is a panacea. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that because I think that we oversimplify these things. But I do think that there is value in having meaningful connection. Mm-hmm. And that's not just in romantic relationship, but it is in friendships as well. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm saying I feel like I am a single person who has friends who are in relationship. So I oftentimes struggle because I feel like, friends who are in relationship have, certain priorities and their time is limited in certain ways. And part of me feels like I shouldn't bother them with my, need to just kind of talk or go somewhere or do something or whatever. Just kind of have that day-to-day kind of conversation with. But I think that maybe and I could be wrong, but I wonder if I think I'm totally stumbling over what I want to say, but I feel like that's one of the things that I struggle with in being single is feeling like I don't have a person. In that way. I've got great, amazing friendships. But I don't feel like I have a partner. Someone to help and share the load of certain things and someone who I can help share their load. And that is a struggle for me. Because I feel like now I'm starting to feel like I'm not going to ever have one. But that's a whole nother conversation. But that is one thing that I feel like would help me not to feel so drained all the time, is to just have an outlet or somebody who I could talk to about just day-to-day things. But yeah, that's me telling all my business all over the World Wide Web.
I'm glad you brought that up. We are going to have a conversation about that, where we can delve a little bit deeper into.
I don't want to.
I know, but we should, because we want the people to know that that they're not alone in some of the feelings that they have and the thoughts that they have when it comes to being single and dating and marriage and relationships and all of that fun, unfun stuff. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that soon. But in the meantime, yes, we'd love to hear from you about the things that you do to replenish and rejuvenate.
Yeah, man. Let us know.
Keep that conversation going. We'd love so that we can share. Maybe there are different things and tactics and ways that we can share with one another, and we can go back and read your responses so that we can all kind of find little ways to rejuvenate and refresh ourselves. I think what you're saying about having a little gratitude moment is a wonderful way to do so, because remembering the things that you're grateful for is a way to really like boost you. It's a way to really get you going. So
agreed.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff. And we can move right on along to the honesty box.
Support for today's show also comes from the Thrive Market, an online marketplace that's on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone. You'll get access to thousands of the best-selling organic foods and natural products at 25 to 50% off below traditional retail prices. Whether you are vegan, gluten-free, or feeding a family, you can choose from 80-plus customizations to get everything you need, including non-GMO, fair trade certified, and BPA-free. From organic almond butter to lavender essential oil, Thrive Market carries absolutely everything that you need. They have pantry staples, cleaning products, sweet treats, the best snacks, and so much more at such an affordable rate. What I love most about Thrive is that for every paid membership, a free membership is given to a low-income family, a public school teacher, or a military veteran. So what I love about Thrive is not only do they have amazing snacks, like I just said, but they deliver really quickly, and their packaging is zero waste. So you know how a lot of other companies, they will use of the largest box to send you some chapstick, and then you have to contend with all the paper and all that mess that gets all over your carpet. You don't have to worry about all that wasteful stuff that you're just going to throw away or recycle. Thrive saves the steps for you. I really love their salsa, and their almond butter is lit. And that lemon essential oil, let me tell you something. You drop a couple of drops of that down your drain, honey.
Sis.
Have your whole kitchen smelling like zestfully clean. I don't even know. It's amazing. But yes, y'all check out Thrive Market. And now with our special link, Thrive Market is giving you an extra 25% off your first purchase plus a free 30-day trial. That's 25% off what are their already low prices that Thrive Market offers. Just go to thrivemarket.com/grown to access this discount. You won't be sorry.
Honestly, truly.
All right, y'all. It's time to get into some people's business. Praise the Lord, niggas. Praise the Lord for Jade and Keia. Oh, thank you. Hello, beautiful ladies. My name is... Let's give her a moniker. What would you like to call her?
Belcalis.
Belcalis. My name is Belcalis, and I recently started listening to your amazing podcast. Right at this moment, I'm listening to Nicole Switchy, and I'm in need of some advice on a subject that connects to what I'm currently listening to. It would be amazing to hear this later as I get to more current episodes.
Okay.
I've been with my boyfriend for about 5 years this November. We got together in college and stayed together through a year of cross-country long distance, 2 years of living together for the first time, and now long distance again as we both pursue our dreams. I've known that I didn't want to be with him for a while now. We're both moving in different directions and we don't have the same paths for our future. I don't want to waste any more of our time because I know that deep down, I know that I don't want to be in this romantic relationship anymore. Like when you're at dinner with the perfect man and you just don't like him. Along with being a big sucker for his emotions, like I've literally not listened to myself for years because I care so much about how he feels. I've been feeling an astronomical amount of guilt as I prepare myself to tell him about these feelings and ultimately break it off. What will our families think, our mutual friends? Will I have to give back the iPad? Just kidding on that last one. My question for you both is how I deal with this guilt. It's so bad now without even having talked to him about it, and I feel that it's only going to get worse. I'm just afraid of what will transpire after the storm. Lastly, thank you so much for this podcast. I hope you both understand what you're doing, have done, and will continue to do for women of color. I'm forever grateful for having the privilege to listen to you. Oh, best Belcalis. First of all, I love you for this best.
Oh, she hasn't gotten to the episode yet.
I'm cracking up at all of these responses we got about ways to end emails, even though I'm still going to put best. But you guys did have some good ones. Kind regards is nice. I do put thank you. I forgot to say that. I put thank you quite often, but I'm not thanking niggas when they don't do nothing for me. But no, you all had some nice ones, and I'm laughing at all of the suggestions. It cracked me up. Hey, Ebony. So, what do you have for Belcalis? Does she need to give back the iPad?
No.
Absolutely not.
It was a gift.
Collateral damage.
So, I mean, it is going to be tough, but I think you're doing yourself and him a great disservice by being in a relationship that you don't want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And you just prolonging whatever, his reaction is going to be. Telling him is not going to change it. So it's just a matter of doing it. And I wonder if it's like actual guilt that you feel for, I don't know. Does it sound like she really feels bad? I feel like her mind is made up. I just feel like she knows that he's going to have a tantrum, or there's going to be this big blow up, and she doesn't have the energy for that.
I think, well, for one, I've been in her shoes before, so I'm feeling like, from what I'm reading and from what I'm remembering, because she said, she doesn't want to hurt his feelings, right? Ultimately, she doesn't want to hurt him. She knows it's going to hurt him, and she doesn't want to do that. But she's been, preserving his feelings for this long just by being in the relationship, because she hasn't wanted to be in it for some time. Also, they clearly have family ties. So when you get involved with somebody, they get to know your family, you get to know their family. People draw close to one another. It just kind of happens, if things go well for you like that. And because I know sometimes, the ghetto. But, she said, what about our mutual friends, our family members? So I know that she's concerned also with the outcome and the results of what's going to happen from the breakup. whether it be, mutual friends picking sides or, people just being hurt in general. Because the thing about it is when you break up with somebody, it doesn't just hurt the two people, especially when you're heavily involved. It doesn't just hurt the two people. They're obviously the ones who are most affected, but a lot of the loved ones surrounding two people who break up also, feel effects of breakups. Not really to white woman it or sound, like, oh, what was me because y'all broke up. But it, you feel the effects, you know what I'm saying? Because when people are building a life together and then you're involved in their life, they've become a part of your life, and it's like, damn, like, I don't really know anything but y'all together. So it does. It affects people who are around them. And I know that is a hard thing for a lot of people when they're in this situation. They do think about loved ones because they know that this is going to drop a bomb on everybody.
Right.
But in you dealing with this, first of all, I would admonish you to try not to feel guilty, whether you have to do that through therapy or what have you. Try not to feel guilty for realizing what it is that you want or do not want. Try to feel grateful for that. I know that a lot of times that gratefulness comes later on after the storm has kind of passed and you get through the emotions and you get through the heartbreak of it all, because your heart can still be broken even if you're the one who's doing the breaking up. Because ultimately you don't want to hurt, somebody who you've been with for this amount of time, you've invested this amount of time in. But once you get past that little moment of clarity is, whoo, you want to talk about something that's refreshing. That little moment of clarity is beautiful. And when you have that first day where you're good, you're just good. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like it. So that peace of mind, that clarity that comes from all of that is like a beautiful rainbow after a nasty ass storm. So I would just say try not to feel guilty about knowing what it is that you want or do not want. And try not to prolong it, because at this point it's not going to do anything positive. Just more time is going to pass, which is more feelings invested, and it gives you more excuses to not make a decision that you've already made in your head. And it's only fair to this person for you to release them if you know that you do not want them.
Agreed. Adulting is about making the best choices and making decisions that are best for you, even when it's painful to do so.
Yep. That's
what
big
it's
part
about.
of adulting.
That's a big part of adulting. It's about not always doing what feels good. It's about doing what's best.
Yep.
And this is a lesson. This is not the first time you're going to have to do it, so you might as well get warmed up and try it out with your boy. And you can, just like Jay said, it doesn't mean that you love or care for him any less, but it's about making a choice that's going to be in both of your best interests going forward. So even if he don't feel like it is in his best interest, it is, because he deserves to be with someone who wants to be with him.
That's it. And he doesn't deserve to not know. That's like people who cheat. You know what I'm saying? You cheating when you all have not spoke about being in a polyamorous relationship or an open relationship or whatever. You cheating is taking away the option from the other person on whether or not they want to be in that type of situation. And that is where it becomes dishonest and it's unfair. So it's the same thing with this. It's not necessarily cheating, but you're not giving this person the freedom that they deserve by continuing to be with them under false pretenses. So that's not us getting on you. That's just what it is. But I know this is not easy. It's not something that, it's not something that's hard and fast. And Keia and I both fully support you, and you're welcome to please write in and follow up with us and let us know how everything goes.
Please do. Belle Khalees, we're rooting for you.
We are always rooting for the Belle Khaleeses of this world.
Young Cardi B.
Young Cardi's in the party. So you can continue to send your honesty box questions to gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. And we will move along to these good old petty peeves.
Sure will.
And I want to be very responsible of the things I say to my sister. Because everybody know I can be real petty. P-E to the T-T-Y, honey.
All right, y'all. It's time to be petty, and I am prepared today. I actually started this on Instagram, but I'm just going to continue the conversation. So, I have a problem with unauthorized nicknames, especially in the workplace.
Yeah.
Via email, most especially. And I won't be able to use, like, you know, when certain people, Holly and Helen and them, you know, they can sometimes have a tendency to say, like,
Hun.
you know, via email, hey, hun, do you have a moment? Can I blah, 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 blah. Don't hun me, son. I don't like to be hun. Don't hun me. We're not friends. We don't have a rapport. You don't know me. I don't know you. You know my name, though, and that's what you should use. I think that there's something kind of patronizing and condescending about, you know, being hunned.
Yeah, it is.
Especially by Holly and them. It really just gets it just grates my good last nerve. And I just can't, it just won't be tolerated. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm going to call you out if you hun me. I would appreciate it if you wouldn't hun me. Don't hun me.
Don't hun me or I'm going to son you.
Don't hun me. Don't hun me. I'm not your hun.
I'm not
Don't
your
do
hun,
it.
son.
I don't like it. I'm not your hun, son. Don't do it.
Cardi said that too. She was like, she's like, and that shit you said in your verse.
She was like,
I'm
you
not
did
your
not
son.
coach me.
You did not coach me. I'm not your
And
son.
I'm not your son.
Your only problem is that I don't suck your dick like everybody else. I was like, oh shit.
Don't ever change.
Never
Don't ever
change.
Don't ever change.
Never change.
Don't do it.
My petty peeve this week is extremely petty.
Okay.
But it is valid. When you do dickhead shit in traffic,
Oh, Lord.
and then we end up on the side of each other, look at me.
God. Oh, God.
Look at me. Like, don't look straight ahead because you know you were doing dickhead shit. And
Like,
that's
you
going to
know.
piss me off. And I be sitting there at the light like, nigga, I know you. Or when they do that real petty shit where they just pull up like a little bit, but they don't.
Or like they inch
Yeah.
up.
Like they don't ever want to be window to window. I'm like,
Because
nah,
I'ma
because you
inch
was
up
out
too,
here real
my
ballsy
guy.
on the road, but like now you next to me and you don't want to look at me. That irritates me.
I'm real good. You know how petty I am? If you beep at me, right? And then for whatever reason, or if you beep at me or do something, or for whatever reason you're like in front of me, I'm going to do everything within my power to pull up next to you because I just want to look at you like
Same.
you're crazy. I just want you to see. I want you to see me and know that I'm pissed. Like you got to know, and you got to know that I know, and you got to know that I'm not afraid to tell you that I know that you're trash.
That's really it. Like, don't honk at me because I don't do nothing that's honk worthy. Like, I don't do, like, I don't. Like, I don't, like, when, you know what I'm saying? When the light turns, like, and I'm making a left turn or whatever, I go up in the intersection, you know what I'm saying? When
Really?
the light turns green, a nigga goes, I don't be on my phone. Like, so I don't do nothing that's honk worthy, so don't honk your horn at me. That's first and
Because when
foremost.
you honk at me, I have to do the opposite of what you were trying to get me to do.
Oh, absolutely.
I said this, like, you know, I said if I'm coming out of a parking space or if I'm getting ready to come out of a parking space and you want my parking space, the worst thing you could ever do is honk your horn because now we are both going to die waiting for me to move. I did it. The man did it to me at Whole Foods. I turned my car off and turned around and looked at him like, are you honking at me? I will take my time. This is my parking space.
I would have
mine.
gone one step. I would have gone back in and grabbed the cart in front of him.
I was just like,
don't
my guy,
ever.
you don't get to honk at me.
Nigga,
Don't rush
I'm
me,
about
son.
to go
Who
here
are
and
you?
buy chapstick just off of the strength of pissing you off.
Oh, I was trouble, but the Lord is working on me. He is, but I'm just saying, if you honk at me, like I'm saying, if I don't go when the light turns green immediately, you honk at me, I'm going to wait.
Nigga,
I'ma
until
wait.
it turns red and then
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
sit
pull
right
off.
there and I'm just like, okay, so we're all just gonna wait until I'm ready.
Bet.
Since you want to rush me.
Bet.
All right. Bet. I got time.
I got all day.
I got time.
Nigga, everybody knows I'm gonna be late anyway. So I don't have no time. I don't have no problem playing road wars with you.
I got time. See, this is why. This is why we are angsty New York drivers. Even though I've not lived in New York for over 6
okay,
years, I
it's
just
still in
cannot escape it.
It's still in you.
I mean, if you honk at me, I will stop. Oh,
I was in
Oh.
New Orleans. I was driving my parents' truck, and at one point I honked at somebody because they didn't go at a light. My parents said, "Oh Lord, let me tell you something. Honking is the great offense down here. It is the great offense." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Well, what the hell do they have horns for?" Like,
the great offense.
they get offended if you honk your horn.
That's like me. I get offended.
Well, if I
get
honk my
old.
horn, I know what you did. You know
offended.
what you did was honk worthy. That's all I'm saying.
Honk
Honk
But I will
worthiness
honk
is a
at you
thing.
very, very. I see. I get upset when you honk at me, but I will honk at you.
Oh, let me tell you
Quickly.
something. I'm a complete hypocrite on the road. What are you talking about? Like, as a pedestrian, I'm taking my time to cross the street, but as a driver, I'm like, hurry up.
Another thing, if you wait, I think this might have been my petty peeve before, but if you are trying to get over, if you're trying to get over in front of me, you gotta ask me.
But
You don't just
you better
gotta-
signal
you have to
in
acknowledge
some
me in
way.
some way.
You better put on an indicator.
listen.
You better
If you could get my attention,
give me a wave.
I will allow you. Right, I will allow you if you ask me.
Same.
But you don't just get to just bogart.
Nah.
You don't get because
Nah.
I'm petty and I will inch up and inch up and inch up.
Sure will.
And inch up and I'll be like, nah, I'm not letting you in. I'm not doing it because you didn't ask me. I'm not doing it.
I've been
I'm
a
not doing it.
16th of an inch away from somebody's bumper behind playing with these people.
Just
Don't do me on the road. Don't do it. Don't do me on the road, nigga, because I will win every time. I can drive my ass off. I can do a few things in this world. Cook and drive. So play with me if you want to.
Man.
And that concludes another episode of Getting Grown. Getting petty with Jade and Keia.
That's what we should call the show.
It is getting petty. Because it was extremely petty, but it's valid and warranted. Thank you for listening. Can't wait to see you all this week. This Friday, Keia and I will be at Cal State LA. If you have not registered for the Women and Femmes of Color Conference, I suggest you get on it ASAP. It is this Friday the 2nd, and we will be the opening keynote speakers doing the ABCs of Adulting, Black Women and Femmes edition.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you guys are there. And then the following week, we're going to be in Atlanta.
Atlanta Hospital
Atlanta.
International.
Atlanta.
That's how you get when they don't even pronounce Atlanta right at the airport when you going up the escalator and they said, "Welcome to Atlanta Hospital." I'm like, they don't put the T in it.
No.
How you gonna be on the intercom?
They through and
at the-
through.
Atlanta.
Forever I love
Hospital.
Atlanta. Forever I love
I
Atlanta.
said, they don't even respect that T. They don't respect that T.
No,
in
they
Atlanta for
don't.
Nothing.
It's nowhere to be
But
seen.
yeah, we're gonna be in Atlanta
yes.
on Sunday, November the 11th. The show begins at 3 p.m. We're going to be at the 444 Theater. So y'all come and hang out with us. We're going to have an awesome time. We're going to be joined by Dr. Teresa from Therapy for Black Girls. We're so super excited to have her. I'm excited. We're going to have such awesome talk about self-care as Black women and why it's so hard for us to do, even though it is so absolutely necessary. And integral to our survival and success. But yeah, come and hang out with us, Atlanta, and then after that, the Saturday after that, we're gonna be in Nashville.
Yes.
For the Read Live. So we're on the road.
Yeah, come and kick it with me at the pop-up shop. Keia will be doing real work, but I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm coming from the conference. I'm coming from the ASH conference.
She is.
Oh yes, if you're gonna be at ASH, we're gonna have a half-past happy hour, hey sis, meetup for all the Black women in higher education. Myself, the ladies of Cider Sister and Sister PhD, and School and Life podcast. We're going to converge and meet and descend. We're going to descend upon the lobby of the hotel on November 15th at 7. And we're going to pick a place and go have a drink or have some appetizers or whatever. We're just going to hang out and it's going to be awesome. So if you're going to be at the ASH conference or in the Tampa area, come kick it with us. Yeah, hopefully we'll have a flyer for that soon and I'll post that on my social media. But we are out here, honey, working hard.
We are out here busting ass. Make sure you guys, if you're there, make sure you go to Keia's meetup so you can go see a whole bunch of smart women looking like a Fenty ad. You know what I'm saying? Taking over.
We're going to have a good time.
Taking over the bar. And in the meantime, as we said earlier,
drink your water.
Mind your business.
Moisturize because your black will crack if it's dry.
Bye.
Peace out, guys.